And we are live. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. Isaac Myers, Counterpunch to you. Reinhard Schneider, hello, my bomb squad nation. Rod, let's go King Kong. Who is King Kong, Kurt? Okay. Brazilian Kong. All right. Dr. Tufai. West Knowledge 101. I truly want Wilder to win the rematch, but I don't see how he's going to do that. West Knowledge. Uh-oh. We got a Wilder doubter. Kurt, what do you think? Only if Wilder brings a gun in the ring, he wins. He has a gun. He has the right hand. He has the right hand. Like Bob Arum, I just heard Bob Arum say, well, Deontay Wilder, going into the ring with him is like going into the ring with somebody with a gun. He has a gun. He can take you out at any given moment. Fury will smash the excuse maker. The excuse maker. The shit house. Dulce. Yeah, man, it's a trip. How's everybody doing today, man? Let's talk about some boxing. Let's talk about some boxing. Yes, I heard Aram say it. Yeah, I did a lot of counterpunching on Aram today, man. He really surprised me with some of the comments that he made. So stay tuned for that, my good peoples. Tyson is going to outbox Wilder and press the fight again. Well, Tyson, believe it or not, he did a combination of outboxing him at times, but really the whole effect with Wilder was pushing him back and keeping him back. I'll let the chat load. Wilder seems to look a lot bulkier, at least at the top. Nord first. Now, here's the thing. That's a good question. But great statement. At what point would that be a good idea for Wilder? I mean, tall guy, broad shoulders, upper body, get it. But then why would he want to bench press when he should be worried more about squats? Very good videos on AJ versus Usyk fight. Very fine and unbiased. We've seen Wilder work on combinations, but what about his trash ass footwork? Well, Isaac, let me tell you something. If he doesn't work on his footwork, he's screwed. And it's going to tell in the fight. If he worked on his footwork, it's going to show in the fight. He's going to need it. He's going to need to circle around Tyson Fury. Okay? He's going to have to circle around Tyson Fury. He can't do that shit going straight back with his arms up, because that's exactly what Tyson Fury wants him to do. Because if you notice, Wilder does the same shit. If you get the drop on Wilder, if you beat him to the counter, he's going to put his hands up, and either he's going to stand there or he's going to go backwards. Okay? And that's exactly what Tyson Fury wants him to do. And if he can get him to do that, all Tyson's going to do is punch around his guard, throw hooks, right hooks and left hooks to the side of his face, okay? Trying to damage probably his eardrum again, doing that type shit. Throw his equilibrium off, and he'll swear somebody spiked his water. What's up, Kurt? You also should check out Alcesta. Oh, you know what? That's right. Kurt, I'm really surprised how many fighters and trainers don't really believe Wilder will defeat Fury with a puncher's chance. Well, I mean, that's what Wilder's always had. And the one arm champion, or the one arm former champion, I should say, did a great job with what he had. People don't they don't look at. I mean, Wilder, but probably besides the exception of who Dominic Brazil, because I mean it didn't last long enough to see how good Dominic Brazil was. The one thing was apparent: he was too freaking slow, and he paid dearly. And look, Dominic Brazil, that was just dumb anyway. Let's be real. Dominic Brazil thought he had a jaw of steel. Okay, you just got hit with a fucking missile. Because Deontay Wilder knocked his ass out. Hey, look, Dominic Brazil got hit so hard he wasn't even mad at Wilder no more. You remember he had some like that beef with the ballroom lobby brawl or whatever, and he's Dominic had something to do with his brother, and they supposed to start it, and then Deontay got into it, and then somehow his wife and kid got into the damn thing. It was real messy. It was real bad blood. You're gonna get trouble. Like, I'm gonna take you out. You're trash. You have all these kids out of wedlock. You're trash. You're beneath me and all that shit. I'm gonna knock you out because my name is Trouble. It was so funny. You heard Wilder and them guys over there laughing and shit. You're trouble. Yeah, you trouble. You in trouble, motherfucker. Girl, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. When Wilder loses, how off the deep end you think he's gonna go? I don't know. I mean, if here's the thing. Here's the thing, Isaac. If Wilder loses, it would be refreshing to know that, hey, the better man won. I mean, he did say that shit before. You know that, right? He said that on the 20th or the 22nd of February. He said that. He said the better man won tonight, like at that time. Then when I guess he got back and looked and heard people's take on it. And I mean, he didn't think the better man won. He think, that man cheated him. So, there you go. Don't forget the referee looked like he had a cocktail or was on something. Yeah. Kenny Bayless looked really drunk that night, people. We have to remember that. He looked drunken. If anything, if Kenny Bayless did any type of substance, it would not be fucking alcohol. It'd probably be cocaine, maybe crack, because the motherfucker's too amped. He's more amped than the fighters. Break! What's up to everybody in the chat? Hope the day is going well. What up, Kurt? Hope all is well, brother. J Real 504 Music. Counterpunch to you. Everything is good, man. I feel good. No neck pains. I think I partied a little bit too much the last few days, birthday and all, birthday weekend or whatever. It's kind of shitty, have some car problems. And now the shop, they won't get finished with my car until I don't even know when, because they won't open up until like Thursday. But no, I mean, I feel great though. So that's the blessing. Let's see. Kurt, everyone is overanalyzing this fight. Fury will go down as an all-time great. Wilder honestly has no chance with that cast of clowns surrounding him. Well, we'll see. We will see, because Malik Scott, I think Malik Scott's doing a hell of a job with him. Was Malik Scott on Mark Breland when he praises Mark Breland. Imagine the dilemma he's in, red or dead. Because, he ain't really said nothing. He was like, they paved the way for me. I can't, But see what it is. Here's the thing. If you're a Wilder fan, or if you're in the circle of Wilder, the things you don't do, you don't tell Wilder what you feel about Breland, because he already has his opinion about Breland. So if he has his opinion made up already, them being where they are and who they are to him and how close they are to him, they don't say anything just out of keeping the peace. Like, look, I ain't gonna talk about that. You know? So how you doing, Kurt? Sometimes ago, Wilder said that he was going to punch his haters that touches him after the defeat of Fury. Do you see him doing that? Yeah, Andrew, I do. I mean, because when he does that, the bronze bomber will then be released back in the universe because he spoke it and he believed it, and he's going to receive the bronze bomber. And anybody that touches the bronze bomber will get dealt with farm aggression. They will get hit with a swinging left hook, a clubbing left hook, and then the straight right is going to cause them to say goodnight. But when they arise, they're going to sue his ass off. So there you go. He's gonna buy somebody a wardrobe, a fucking Lamborghini, and then probably pay off some doctor bills. So there you go. Yep. That's what's gonna happen. Because I mean, he's gonna be too amped. Because he's gonna be like, "Hey, I told you, motherfuckers. I told you I was gonna knock out Tyson Fury. As Tyson Fury woke up, I don't care if he did. I hope he dies. You know that type of shit. I hope he's my body because he cheated me. You know that type of shit. And anybody touches me that I thought that you were my enemy, I'm gonna hit you too because I'm still enraged because the Bronze Bomber is still over possessing my body and my spirit. Okay." But no, 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 no. That's right. He's supposed to be a born again Christian. And in Christianity, you don't believe in alter egos and all that shit and ancestry spirits like Ashe and, African, religions. So who knows? He might go back to the African religions again. Kwan's big guns. Wilder would KO Usyk. Wilder never tries to outbox someone, so I'm 100% sure he would KO Usyk. Kwan's big guns. That's interesting. It's interesting you say that because that's what would make Wilder dangerous in a fight like that to Usyk. You got a good point, Kwan. Everybody might say, what the fuck? Well, see, here's the thing. If Wilder tried to pull some Anthony Joshua, I'm better boxer than you shit, he would get beat up. Wilder ain't going to do that. He's not going to try to win round after round. How many rounds you think he won against Ortiz? I mean, really. If we were counting rounds, right? How many rounds you think he actually beat Ortiz in? Fucking the 5th, the 10th. So the 5th round, the 10th round in the first fight, because that's where he stopped him. And the 7th round in the next fight. So that motherfucker won a total of 3 rounds against Ortiz. Ortiz is more skilled than him, right? He's older, but he's more skilled. But with that, Wilder wasn't trying to outbeat him at his own game. Wilder was just trying to knock him the fuck out. And with Usyk, he knew and he knows, like, look, and this is the thing about belief and power of belief. As long as you know, like, hey, I can knock this guy out with my power if I hit him just right. And he's just on that line a second too long, and I catch him, I'm going to decapitate him. And look, here's the thing. Yeah, Usyk's different. Look, Ortiz is older, man. That only thing Ortiz is his problem, his age. That's the only thing that will hurt him. Jay Roos Theory, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Jay Roos in the building. Usyk stops Wilder. I mean, he could stop Wilder. Let's look at it like this. Hard punchers versus very good special fighters. Bernard Hopkins, Felix Trinidad. That shit probably was one of the biggest upsets in 2001. I've been watching boxing a long time, people. And when I saw that fight, I thought, man, you know what? Trinidad going to land that left hook and knock his ass out. But guess what? The left hook never came. He never was able to land it flush because Bernard knew this shit's coming. This shit's coming. And he knew it's coming. Therefore, he anticipated that. He prepared for that. Like Tyson Fury damn near pulled it off in the first fight. He got nailed a couple times. But it just shows you how determined a guy like Wilder is. He's going to always be dangerous. Okay? He's going to always be dangerous. Probably except the last fight. He probably would have got beat to death. But most of the time, 99.6% of the time, Wilder's a dangerous man because he knows. And he believes that if I hit this man with my right hand, I'm going to knock him spark out. That's what it is. And see, with Usyk, and the problem with Usyk, though, and this is the scary thing about Usyk will not let off of Wilder. He won't start playing with Wilder, I don't feel, because He's very feel. He will stay focused 100% of the time. That's the scary thing about him. So you got a guy that's focused 100% of the time to do his task or objective in the ring, as he explains it, versus a guy that at any point in time in that 12-round fight, he may knock you out. That fight, I would love to see. Look, the heavyweight possibilities, people, is endless when it comes to um fighters. Like that's why, like Ortiz, I feel bad for him because they fucked over Ortiz because they used Ortiz as a decoy. They did it for Wilder first, and then they did it for Andy Ruiz second. And Andy Ruiz ducked that man last year, and he ducked him this fucking year too. He filed like he had a bum ass knee, so he had a surgery. But a week fucking later, he was doing squats. That don't make sense. Tell me how that makes sense. What fucking surgery you have and you doing squats the next week? You full of shit. Can anybody tell me that? Yeah, there's no chill mode with Usyk. That's the scary part about Usyk. Usyk will not stop. He can't be bargained with. He can't be reasoned with. He will not stop. He doesn't feel pity or pain or remorse. And he will not stop ever until you are defeated. Michael Biehn, Terminator 1984. Love my movies, man. Usyk is too advanced. His speed, accuracy, and work rate can stop anyone. Well, Wayne, we seen with Joshua, and everybody gives Joshua a bad time. See, it's a difference between getting hit at times you do not know you're getting. Those punches you don't see. And they're just as worse as the punches that he didn't see coming. That's the problem. Usyk only capable of beating Fury. Fury will most likely do a masterclass, though. No, I don't believe that. Because, see, here's the thing. You can't masterclass someone that's a master at that fucking same thing. I don't believe that. Do you know why I don't believe that, Benjamin? This is the real true reason. The reason I don't believe that is you get hit and caught with a guy like Wilder. And I know his personality could be involved, but Fury is a showman, and that showman spirit in Fury will cause him to get hit at times. If Otto Vailin could hit him and bust his fucking face open, Usyk will be able to hit him at will. Yeah, Fury is a master. That's great. So if Fury's a master, what do you say about Usyk? Kurt, what was the quote? Cannot be reasoned with. He will not stop. He does not feel pity or pain or remorse, and he will not stop ever until you are dead. Michael Biehn, man. You know what I mean? Usyk versus Wilder would be a masterclass of punching timing. Whichever figures it out first wins. And then see, Wilder has the straight right, and the straight right will always be the counter, the go-to counter for a southpaw. And you look at it like this. Let's look at it like this. You got to be fair. If Joshua can catch Usyk, Wilder, I think, is faster than Joshua. He's faster at delivering the right hand than Joshua is with his right hand. Combinations, I think Joshua's better, but I think Wilder's better with delivery with one punch. Because that's what he's fucking practiced the last 40 fights. Throwing the right hand, get the right hand off, executing that punch, landing that punch, finding the hole for that punch. All of it's the same. That's what Wilder has not perfected, because if he perfected it, we wouldn't have had that type of loss like he had. Me neither. Red or dead, I can't wait for Undisputed, but it's coming. And it's 100 people in here, so that means boom, we are live. Okay, we are physically live. So, Usyk wouldn't land on Fury. Fury knows how to use distance, size, and weight. Well, here's the thing: it would be a lot different than people think it is. And people kill me with, oh man, Joshua just got destroyed by Fury. Those are two different fighters. Usyk is good with distance, and he's better with footwork than Fury. Fury's good at combination and feints. I'm trying to tell you guys. If you look at Fury, he's quick on his feet, but he's not good in the leg category as people think. He got them bent legs, and he's good at moving those bent legs. But the thing is, he's not as quick as someone like Usyk because Usyk has better footwork, I feel. Now, what I think Tyson Fury brings to a fight with Usyk is feints, because he will know how to feint Usyk. But if you feint someone and they don't fall for it and instead they punch you in the fucking mouth, that's not an effective feint. Yeah, he does have long arms. So what he'll do though, Usyk, what he'll do, I mean, Fury, he'll come in, he'll try to chunk that jab out there like he was doing against Wilder a lot of times and chunk it out, but hopes that Usyk stays there for that target. But this is going to be the problem for Fury. He's going to figure out just as fast that Usyk's defense for jabs like that, with that constant moving and focus on anticipation. That's what Loma does. Loma anticipates what you're going to do before you do it. He just knows because he's setting you up with certain traps. And the certain traps that he sets up, like, oh, look, he's a southpaw too. So he's going to come in with the feint, then a double jab, right? Feint, double jab, swoop. I'm going to then slip the right hook, bow, hit him with a left. You see what I mean? So he's already anticipating that. And he may hit you with a bop, bop, and then he might spin out to elude. Then you have to reset. But guess what? You've taken 2 to your face and you've hit him 0. So it's going to be one of those things that people really need to understand what you're dealing with. You think Joshua's a slouch? Fine. Think that way until he beats the shit out of someone else. Then what you going to say? He stops Wilder. Then first motherfucker, well, damn, Joshua ain't that bad. Tried to tell you. Chris Shuck. Hope you're having a good day, Kirk. Look forward to Fury and Wilder. I look forward to it too. I'm about to set up my live stream in advance like I did the Usyk Joshua. Great turnout. Awesome. Look, we had knockouts. We had robberies. We had fair fights. We had a lot not last weekend, the weekend before then. I'll put 100K in favor of Fury against Usyk. 100K. I don't know about 100K. But Andrew James, that's a lot of fucking money. You think you're talking about. You must have some faith in my man Fury. And Fury, look, it don't pay to go against him. Don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, someone has your number and someone's always going to be just as prepared than you. And if Fury comes in there thinking, I'm with a smaller guy, I'm with an Otto Vilene, but a little quicker, he's going to be in a bad situation. Kurt Showbiz said he bet $10,000 to Fury to win. Well, fuck, I hope he gets that money back because he's shit. He puts his money where his mouth is. That's one thing I can say about Showbiz the dope. He puts that bread down. Usyk isn't getting inside of Fury, dude. No. See, here's the thing. Dylan, if that was the case, that meant Otto Vilene shouldn't have stood no chance, and Otto Vilene couldn't have done what he did to his eye. That means that with what you're saying is that Fury is technically a huge, big-ass version of Floyd Mayweather. That's what you're saying, and he's not. He showed that and he proved that against Wilder. He's not in the first fight. He's not. Because, look, Floyd ain't going to get hit with those type big punches. It's not going to happen. And Floyd's not a perfect fighter. He's just exceptionally special. Fury is a guy. He does a good replica, a good like not even impersonation. Um, yeah, a good personation of the Shilly Shell, but he's not. He doesn't. And I mean that's the thing. Usyk will know what he's dealing with. It will take adjustments, but he will get in. But see, understand, Usyk can get in and get out by circling in that fucking footwork. And I'm looking at Usyk, right? Usyk's a peculiar type cat because they call him the cat, actually, right? Go figure. But Floyd don't cheat. You got it. Um, you would think Usyk, with how he uses his footwork, you would think he has calves like Prince Asim Ahmed or Manny Pacquiao, but he don't. He's not a skinny leg dude, but he doesn't have these big coconut ass calf muscles that he's bouncing off on. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people were afraid when he did go to heavyweight. Would he be able to move like he did? And he showed everybody, I can move just as fucking well. I've acclimated to this weight, and here comes the pain. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If White caught Fury with the left hook, Wallin caught him with, Fury would be put to sleep. That's why Fury wants no part of him. Listen, I've done about 6 videos that I haven't even posted yet. I may bring them out tonight, later tomorrow, whatever. But uh Tyson Fury has already said that hey, his legacy is fulfilled because he's got it. He's won every belt. He's won every he's done everything. He says he's beat some of the best in the world, and he's that his legacy is already set. Well, the problem is you're talking to a guy that has delusions of grandeur. This is his first time ever defending any title. And if he loses, that means he was a fighter that won every belt but never defended any one of them. And when he did attempt to, he was knocked out. That would be the story for Tyson Fury. But for him saying, listen, for Tyson Fury saying, I've my legacy is already set. You beat Klitschko and Wilder, and that's all. Like you beat two motherfuckers. Two. And you are just the best thing since sliced bread. And you think that's it. No Whites, no Joshuas, no Ruizes, no Joe Joyces. Like when you make a legacy, you make a legacy and a history of defending your title. That's what makes you who you are. A lot of people give Wilder praise because of what? He had 10 title defenses, right? With probably what, 8 people? No, 6 people, right? Because we think about it, he fought Tyson Fury twice. He fought Luis Ortiz twice. And then I think 6 more other people. No Ortiz, no Efe. No, you know what I mean? Like all these guys. And then see, look, here's the thing. Tyson Fury ain't fucking old. His body may be old due to abuse, but he's not an old guy. Dude's like a year older than Joshua. Because like he's like just turned 33, I think, like in August, like on the 18th, 12th, or some shit like that. Stop upsetting all these Fury fanboys. No, no, no. They should hear this. Everybody should hear the truth. I mean, you could be a fanboy and still appreciate the truth, I hope. Because see, at the end of the day, Fury is a guy that has had a strange fighting history. And if you look at what he wanted when he wanted to join Eddie Hearn with Matchroom, he wanted 4 tune-up fights, then a fight with Joshua. Well, this is what he did. He had 4 tune-up fights and then 2 fights with Deontay Wilder. So now he's having a third fight with Deontay Wilder. So it's like, and Fury's a showman, but he's a salesman too because he understands, like, listen, I can't dog and piss on guys like Wilder because guys like Wilder, that makes my legacy. That's 50% of my legacy. So he has to say Wilder, oh man, Wilder would beat all these other guys. I give Wilder a chance against these guys because of Wilder's right hand. And Wilder is a guy, he's a lot dangerous because of the attributes that he has. And I'm not just talking about power, I'm talking about height and length, reach. And, but for him just saying that, he's only saying that because he knows if I shit on Wilder, I'm also shitting on my legacy because what have I really done in the past 3 years? Fought and beat Wilder, drawed with Wilder, beat Wilder. Anyone else? Who was that? Otto Vailene, Pianetta, Safari, Swartz. I ain't seen them motherfuckers since. I haven't seen Tyson Fury. I haven't seen the opponents that Tyson Fury fought since. Tom Swartz, where the hell is he at? What happened to him? Fucking supermodel. What happened to super fucking in vogue? What happened to him? Like, I haven't seen him since. The only person that emerged victorious out of that whole fight process and list was Otto Vailene. Now he's fighting Dillian White, which is great for him. I'm glad that he's doing that. You know what I mean? Because now we could see. True Kurt, these Fury fans capping. What happened? And they have the cheek to talk shit about AJ opponents. One of them got put in jail for beating their wife. Okay. Swart beat his missus. Oh, no shit. He went home and couldn't take that ass whooping and took it out on his wife. Huh, interesting. That's funny. I didn't know that. Yeah, that would have been worth like counterpunching. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Who has Ortiz won that everyone praises his skills, but he is old, comes after that? Well, Grim Reaper, it cuts both ways. See, it cuts both ways with Luis Ortiz. See, Luis Ortiz, the same way Tyson Fury looks at Wilder with his legacy, Deontay looks at Luis for his legacy. You see what I mean? See, he never beat Fury, but he fought Fury. And it's always some bullshit behind it. Oh, well, I really knocked him out, but he got up. So, you know what I mean? I knocked him out once, so he thinks about that all the time. Oh, then he beats me. Oh, he really cheated me. So there you go. Fuck that. He cheated me. So he really didn't win. I'm like, okay, but you didn't win, though. Any of those times. So he needs Ortiz, right? So Ortiz is that guy that can't get a fucking break, poor bastard. He's 42 years old. And the Ruiz is fucked over him real bad. I have to keep saying that because Ruiz is not what we thought he was either. Let's be real. That motherfucker, Luis Ortiz will fight on the undercard of Gervonta Tank Davis, and he's calling out Joe Joyce. Now that fight may not happen. Naturally, may not happen. But what the fuck is Andy? I'm feeling great. I'm training. How fucking long you got to train, bro? I mean, you trained all fucking last year during COVID, and you didn't fight one fucking time. Like, so then, Ortiz, I'm not ready. This shit, I mean, and then that it's bad. Look, Luis Ortiz, he had shitty management. I think Wilder had shitty management, but Luis Ortiz had shittier management. Let's be real. I think he had shittier management than Ortiz did. Ortiz had like a sub management company up under the supreme management of Al Heyman. I mean, you heard Andy Ruiz because he got famous, so you could hear what he sounds like. I thank God that I'm good with all my training. I think Anthony Joshua, Matchroom, Al Heyman, right? Then as soon as he got fucking beat, 400 fucking pounds, he goes and does what? Oh, that fight against Dillian White, it wasn't real. Okay, it wasn't real. All right, we'll take your word for it. All right, Ortiz. Ortiz, I'm not ready. I'm like, dude, what the fuck you mean you're not ready? What do you mean? You beat Anthony Joshua last year. How the fuck you ain't ready to fight Ortiz? He ain't a champion, so fight this fucking guy. Not ready. He wasn't ready. So I mean, but then they knew, and I'm like, dude, the dude's fucking 40 years old. He's 41. You know, fucking Ortiz is, well, yo quiero, ¿por qué tú no quieres conmigo? No quieres pelear conmigo, pero estoy esperándote para qué, ¿por qué? ¿Para qué, por qué? And I'm like, you know, and he's asking Andy Ruiz, he speaks Spanish, like, why the fuck are you waiting? No está listo por este pelea. Pero tal vez él no gana. Él no puede ser gano conmigo. And talking a bunch of shit. He was 41 years old. You know, and then Ortiz is like, and it's sad though. So I lay off Ortiz, but I get Ortiz because I'm like, look, you're fucking up because you should have fired everybody. Jay Jimenez, fuck you. Who else? All those guys. You know, maybe Herman Calcedo, but I would say fuck him too because he should have known what was going on. At least if I'm having a trainer like Eddie Reynoso, he's going to look after Canelo. He won't make sure Canelo does something. He'll be watching to see what Oscar does or what somebody else in the management team does to come back and relay information. And Herman Calcedo, he's just as dumb as fucking Luis Ortiz because he could have saved that Joshua fight. He could have got that fight with Andy Ruiz or somebody else. You know what I mean? They're not on the same thing. Ortiz wins Joe Joyce. Look, if Luis Ortiz knocks out Joe Joyce, the first thing you're gonna hear is somebody like fucking Sam Smith. He fucking wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Fucking wasn't ready. The fucking big Cuban. I thought, you know, when he got knocked the fuck out because, see, I would be happy. I would be happy because then people would start respecting Ortiz because people are ducking this fucking guy. They're ducking him. And I'm like, why are you ducking him? Because they know if they get beat by him, their career is over. If Joe Joyce he fights Ortiz and don't win, Ortiz will fuck his career with plummet. You'll hear guys like Frank Warren. I told you, I don't think he was a good fighter. I think he just damaged Daniel Dubois. He was winning on all scorecards, and I don't think he was a good guy at all. It was a fluke. A fluke. What did Ortiz do before he got 35? Fought a bunch of fucking people. JTL fought a bunch of people like Malik Scott, Dave Allen. He fought them under Matchroom. And Eddie got rid of him. Now, here's the thing about Eddie Hearn. I will always question this. Like, why did you get rid of a guy that was undefeated? Why would you get rid of a guy that's knocking out guys? I didn't understand that at all. See, Ruiz was with Eddie before he was with Al. Okay, so that's what happened. That is exactly what happened. And then you asked Eddie, I'm like, well, Eddie, why didn't you fucking put him up against Anthony Joshua? He could have been a great opponent for Anthony, but that never happened. You kind of like, oh, well. And I would have believed Jay Jimenez, or I would have believed the narrative that Eddie did not want Ortiz to fight Anthony Joshua if Jay Jimenez wouldn't have came out and said we dropped the ball. Because I would have been like, okay, well, you had Ortiz, you had King Kong. And at the time, so that put King Kong probably at that time still like at 37, right? Because he signed in 18, that was 3 years ago. So 42, 39, 38. So he was 37, probably turning 38, fighting for Eddie Hearn. You know, he knocked out the White Rhino, right? Dave Allen. Kurt, he didn't get rid of him. Ortiz left because PBC made a better offer. Well, obviously I guess. I mean, because he got an opportunity to fight Wilder. You know, if Teofimo is undefeated, technicality. Oh, I missed that one. That would make Devin Haney mandatory for the WBC way before Kambosos was Mando. Baki, let me look. Teofimo is a good fighter. I think Teofimo did more than most of these motherfuckers have done. But I think you still have to be consistent. And I think that's where the problem lays with Teo or lies with Teo. Teo beat um, Lomachenko. Lomachenko's fucking team, arrogant. It had to be arrogance, people. Anybody can be arrogant. It was arrogance in the making with Lomachenko. They should have implemented a rematch clause in the contract, but they didn't because they thought that Loma was going to go out there and do the Matrix and the fucking do the Neo on all the, on Officer Smith. But Officer Smith was stronger than Neo that day. And Teo said, fuck it. But here's the problem. The best fight, regardless of rematch or not, was for a Loma Teo rematch. That fight would have sold. It would have done a lot more. He would have had pay-per-view because it would have been in front of a live crowd. And the thing is, I think Teo let his fucking ego hinder his career. Not destroy it, but hinder it. Because at the end of the day, that's the biggest fight he could make. Because nobody wants Haney because Haney don't have enough money. And they don't want to get their ass whooped by a guy that seemingly can't punch, quote unquote. That's undefeated. That's trained with Floyd. They don't want to take that step. Ryan Garcia don't want to take that step. Tank Davis, he can't take that step. He's a fucking he's like a cage beast, only released at certain times. Very talented cage beast, but he's only released at certain times. So, but Teo, he needed to do more. He needed to do more and he needs to do more. So if the fight's off, I don't know who he's going to fight, but the Cambosos fight should have been happened. That's just crazy. Well, Ortiz knew he was getting old. Okay. Luis Ortiz knew that he was getting too old to be sitting around waiting for something that happens or not, but it didn't fucking help him at all. Testing positive. You forgot about that, didn't you? Yeah. People talk about fucking Fury the cheater. He cheated. He cheat. How many times have you heard anybody from the LDBC talk about how fucking bad or a bigger cheat than Luis Ortiz? And I'm not shitting on him. I like Luis Ortiz. He's a fellow Cuban fighter, and I love Cuban fighters. I have family in Cuba and all that good shit. But at the end of the day, does people hold the same standard for Luis Ortiz being a cheater than Tyson Fury? Why? Because Fury won and Luis lost. Do you see what I'm saying? If Luis Ortiz would have beat Deontay Wilder, that might have been some similar shit. Well, guys, this is Dante's Boxing Nation. What's going on, guys? Um, Luis Ortiz, it's come out that allegedly he was cheating and he's been a cheat before. And once a cheat's always a cheat. And, maybe it was the age. I don't know. But I think he cheated our champion, Deontay Wilder. So we're going to do investigation because there were rumors that he had a veil or such in his duffel bag that wasn't authorized. And they couldn't show what was in the duffel bag, guys. So, a syringe, who walks around with that, guys? Could have been the same shit. The only difference was Wilder came out victorious because he was able to land the punch. But you haven't said today, but you haven't said today that they should have ducked. No, they shouldn't have ducked him. That's what it's look, that's what fighting is about. You don't duck a person just because you're scared to fight them. What the fuck is that? That's what's wrong with the sport of boxing. Daniel, that's what's wrong with the sport of boxing. You have so many people, right? You have so many fucking people. I mean, so many people that what ends up happening to the point they get concerned or cautious, and then they start trying to micromanage or try to help out a situation by avoiding a certain fighter that may give them problems, that may not be able to achieve their overall goal with this fight down the way. So they try to make that path as easy as possible. Ash Barr, counterpunch to you. Welcome to the stream. Maybe 3 times a week, man. Just a casual. Maybe 3 times a week. I try anyway. You know. Like Joshua versus Dubois. That fight will happen if Joshua loses again, then probably again. You know what I mean? But then by that time, he would fucking probably have 3 losses and then 4 losses. You know, when you start losing, man, it's a hell of a thing because those losses only go up after each and every loss. You know what I mean? Well, he's only got beat by that guy and huh, that guy and oh shit, that guy. Right? Fighters juiced up like Ivan Drago. That's what happened to Rocky. Why you see Rocky fight talk like this? Fucking Ivan Drago was juicing. Shit, he's juicing. He's juicing, Paulie. He was juicing his shit in his arm. I took his punches and I still kept going forward, Paulie. I kept going forward. The punches would hit me and hurt and something stings in my brain. I go, no, dude. Of course, Vivek didn't win. The fight was in Russia. I have to admit, Wilder is very dangerous, but I believe Fury will win. Leon Musa. Wilder is a dangerous guy, man. I'm telling you. Wilder ain't nobody to play with. He's all calm and shit now. You hear him with the Joshua thing yesterday? You know? Walter, we'll talk about this in a second. But you guys see Wilder? Well, it didn't surprise me at all. Usyk's a good fighter. Malik Scott, he said he was praising how good Usyk was. So, I don't think he should do it. I think he'll do a worse job next, but we'll see. How calm he was? Like, damn, dude. Wilder's dangerous if you're outside the top 10. Well, this is the question you ask yourself, people. For all the Wilder fans, the diehards, the fanboys, and all that, where was Fury ranked when he fought Wilder the first time? AJ is the face of scared boxing. Damn, Jay Horseman, tell us how you really feel. He say Anthony Joshua is the face of scared boxing. Man, the internet is undefeated. I swear. Hey, I'm late. Kim, D'Ambrosis, counterpunch to you. Yeah, I've been on about 40 minutes. So, this is the rise in action of the live stream. Daniel Dalton, that's the only way Wilder can win the fight. Highly impossible, though. Improbable. Well, no, not really, because you're fighting. He's using the punch that he uses. He has 2 fists. If he catches you with this right hand, he can knock you out. If he catches you with this one, he'll probably make you smile at him. That's a good jab, though, a decent jab, rather. Bruh, do the Caleb Plant voice. Caleb Plant. You guys start dropping some love. Caleb's cool. This is him in the Canelo interview. Hello, everybody. I just want to thank God I'm here. I'm just letting everybody know I'm a clean fighter. And before everybody, gets to ride Canelo's nuts, understand he's a cheater, and we know he cheated. I didn't make it up. He cheated. He's a bitch, and his manager's a bitch. The only difference is he's a fat bitch, and he's just a bitch. Fury had to block Wilder right hand with the left hand and move the head. What do you think about Holyfield's last fight? Sad. But then again, I want to be clear on something. You have to start side-eyeing Belfort. Belfort, he knew he was in a fucking exhibition. He shouldn't have done that. Now, I'm a good fighter. I go in there, I give it my all, and I do it like it's supposed to be done. There's no room for this. There's no room for cheating in the sport of boxing. So I'm just calling them out. And I will be victorious. I will be. I want to see Hay versus Fury's dad. Man, David Hay better not take that damn fight. He better not take that fight. Who do you have, Crawford or Porter? I have Crawford. I have Crawford stopping Porter, actually. And it's going to define who Terrence Crawford is. And a lot of people didn't understand the video that I made of Canelo and Terrence. I think they watched it like, oh, fuck this. Because Canelo, let me tell you something. Canelo Alvarez is like, he has an exceptional record. He's fought damn near everybody, except probably Pacquiao. I mean, everybody from 154 to 175. And he's done that in the span of some years, right? But then who were the toughest fights of his career? The Triple G one, Floyd Mayweather, then Islani Lara. He fought Triple G again, but then it's like, like Canelo lost to Mayweather, and it was some shady shit with the scorecards in that fight. They gave him a draw. I'm like, how the fuck you give a draw? I mean, you can stand it like it was a knockdown or something. They gave him a draw, and they just totally robbed the fucking Cuban guy. Lara, he didn't have a chance. Yo siento baracho. Eres barato, eres Victoria, there you go, conmigo. Adelante, Lara. Let's see. Do a Floyd impersonation of Fury and Wilder. Big stoppage right hand through a Sean Porter avalanche, and it will be good night. Well, yeah. See it, but you have to understand. A guy like Terrence Crawford, he's going to set that up. He's going to set that up. It's not going to be. It's not going to be any shit like, oh well, it's back and forth. No. What Crawford does? Crawford sets up punches. He sets up punches. He sets up like uppercuts and shit like that, like he did Kell Brook. And Kell Brook, I think, was beating Crawford because they were both the same. They were both counterpunchers. Kell Brook had the height and he had the reach. And Kell Brook's kind of a slick, sneaky fighter at times. He's a good fighter. He beat Sean Porter. He was the first one to beat Sean Porter. So, so he beat the guy that beat Sean Porter, and then he beat Sean Porter. Who's left? Keith Thurman, where you at one time. Then Errol Spence, if he ever comes out of his eye injury, all right. You know what I mean? But you can't expect him to just jump in there with Terrence Crawford, But, I mean, of course, he did that with Danny Garcia. So you could argue. But anyway, Walter Birch. Wilder ducked Klitschko. Here's the thing. Wilder didn't duck Klitschko, okay? I want to let everybody know that he did not duck Klitschko. What happened, he was not allowed to fight Klitschko. His manager, which dual managed him and Vladimir, would not allow that fight to happen. So basically, Shelly Finkel pulled rank on the idea of fighting Vladimir. Vladimir, and if you notice, you want me to prove it to you? I'm going to do this. Do you guys remember one of the fight where Joshua fought Vlad in Wembley in front of all those damn people? You guys remember that? Okay, now listen. The commentator was Wilder. At what point in time did you hear anybody say anything about Wilder fighting who the winner was? You didn't. Because I think Wilder was advised not to. I was told that Wilder wanted that fight. I just think that his management didn't even believe in him or felt he was qualified to even have that fight. Well, obviously not if they called you a baby champion. See, people forget about that. I know you Wilder fans will get mad, but don't. I didn't make that shit up. Okay? I'm just explaining to you. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. That was what happened. Wilder, I heard, wanted that fight. A good source told me Wilder wanted the Vladimir Klitschko fight, but he wouldn't get it because of Shelly Finkel. At that point, I would have left. Like I'm telling Luis Ortiz he should have left Jay Jimenez. I'm saying that Deontay Wilder should have left Shelly Finkel. Not stayed around, not waited around. No, I would have went somewhere else. I would have went back to Golden Boy or I would have went some fucking where else, because he was with, I think, Lou. I don't remember how long he was with Lou DiBella. So I don't want to lie to you guys. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm just explaining, not complaining. You got that backwards. Hay trained a lot of rematch with Bellew, and Hay lost. Yeah, he did too. Yeah, I just heard him say that. I was just listening to his interview, David Hay. Did you hear about the Versace robe curse? Conor McGregor wore it and lost. Billy Joe Saunders wore it and lost. Israel Adesanya wore it and lost. Well, hey, if that's like the curse, it's like the Drake curse. Remember that shit? Good evening, Kurt. I hope I haven't missed much. Didn't even get a notification. Yeah, that's shitty. Maybe you need to unsubscribe and subscribe. Maybe that may work. I don't know because I had the stream open for the longest, so I'm not sure. Juggernaut versus Kong. Pick the winner. I don't know because I like. And here's the thing about Juggernaut, guys. Juggernaut is not a spring chicken. That motherfucker's 36 or 35. Like Joe Joyce is old, dude. He's not young. He ain't like 30 years old. How old is Joe Joyce?
Joe Joyce is 36 years old.
He's 36 years old. Get this. He just turned 36, but he's 36. 37, 38, 39. I mean, he's not young. Yeah, you missed about an hour of it, Nikki. Yeah, about an hour of it, you know. Fury at 290, what do you think? I don't know. But I'm like, if he's at 270 last time, what the fuck does he need to be at two? What would benefit him being at 290? You know what I mean? Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I think people try to overanalyze shit and try to do too much. Now, what if his big ass goes in there and gets tired in the eighth and ninth round? You know what I mean? He ain't been 400 pounds in a long time, people. He may not be able to adjust to holding that up. Yeah, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Um, Stop capping, Kurt. I know, right? Now, let's see. Kurt got KO'd. No, 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 not at all. Not at all. Just had to take a call. A call that had to be taken at that particular time. Kurt puts his Versace robe on. Star Wars fan TV. Many people did wear it and won. Not true. Okay, Topin Time coming back with that counter. There you go. Kurt the GOAT. Capital 2 times. Um, but the possibilities of the heavyweight division is vast. Okay, it's vast for many reasons. It's no Metalliton. I wish one of the women on his. You crazy. Strangeness. I'm digging Wilder's focus, calm attitude at the moment for him as a person. Oh, that's true. That is true. Fury will steamroll Usyk. Big man Kurt DeVille in the house. Joe Riddler counterpunch to you. Fury can carry the weight. He just filling out. Okay. I mean, the thing is, let's hope he can. Because, you know, he used to be 400 pounds, but when he was 400 pounds, he wasn't fucking jumping around, was he? You know what I mean? Just a casual. Good night to you. I want to hear what Fury fanboys will be like after Fury gets slept. Ooh. Now that is true. You know, the thing is, the best possible outcome is for a knockout on either side. Wilder gets his redemption. His nuts then can decide to grow and get swole again. Then we could actually hear him talk more. And Wilder will know what it's like to lose. So we'll see what type of character he has. So a lot will be known. But if Fury wins, then we'll know Fury is still like one of the top fighters, if not the top fighter in the heavyweight division. He will defend his belt. He showed that, hey, he can beat Deontay Wilder, which he was probably the only person that had the true opportunity besides him and Ortiz to fight Wilder, you know. So then on to the next. But if Tyson Fury retires, what did Tyson Fury do besides beat Vladimir and then Wilder? So your whole fucking 50% of your progress is that you call your legacy is only about Wilder and Vlad. Two W's. W and W. Vlad and Wilder, right? If Wilder gets in trouble, he will file and be disqualified. Kevin, you know that's actually my that's my prediction. Deontay Wilder losing by disqualification. Now he could always knock Tyson Fury out, but I think all the shit, the calmness, I don't think he would be that calm. I think everything when he finally starts fighting Tyson, a lot of shit will come out. If he does have anything like Mike Tyson in the mentality, if he wants a body and all that shit, he will do something that will cause him to be disqualified. Then it would be a controversy all over again. Okay. Kurt, you ever think about boxing yourself, considering how much you love the game? I used to amateur box. You know, I tore a rotator cuff once upon a time. I love to spar. I'm a fucking stunt man, so I take a punch here and there, or a kick, or whatever, a throw, a fall, right? But appreciate L shoe money, SH money. Appreciate the love. I love those pounds. He overcame several mental health issues on. Yeah, I mean, he did it twice, but then like if Wild, okay, here's the problem. If Wilder retires, that would cheapen Tyson Fury's legacy. People are like, why? It shouldn't cheapen it at all. Yeah, it would. Why? Because he was the only fucking dude to do it, and Wilder's never been tested through anybody else. So we never seen how good he really is or really was with anyone else. I mean, is that really all Tyson Fury's fault? No, not really, because Wilder did not have to give him the opportunity anyway. He didn't have any fucking business fighting Tyson Fury because he wasn't even ranked. He just was a guy coming back. You know what I mean? So that's Wilder's fault. So Wilder thought he was going to be an easy fight, and he ended up getting into a draw, then ended up getting beat up. Then if he gets beat up again, you're like, okay, that's got to be the worst karma, and you lost $100 million, you know, fighting Joshua, and he should have fought Joshua. What could have been, let's see. Hi, Kurt from India here. Do you think AJ would still beat Fury based on his performance against Usyk? Usyk and Tyson Fury fight different. One's a fucking southpaw, and one is not. I don't know because see, I don't think because I think Joshua naturally has a problem with smaller guys. He was better fighting someone like Vlad or someone taller like that than someone shorter like Ruiz and those other guys. Okay. Jesus loves all. What up, Kurt? Long time no see. Counterpunch to you, brother. Where does Wilder go when he loses? Shit, back to the drawing board. Don't fire fucking Malik Scott. If he gets beat up, it's going to be bad if he can't defend himself against Tyson Fury, though. It's going to be terrible because they ain't going to want to stop it. They're going to be dumb fucks and listen to Deontay. And if Malik Scott does what Mark Breland do, they have to go back and apologize to Mark Breland. And if you notice about Wilder, he's still capping shit about Mark Breland. He still is. You think people in your camp, they like you, they jealous of you, and they envy you, and they think to be your friends. I mean, you talking about Mark Breland. You know what I mean? Like, you can't let that shit go, can you? So who do you fucking blame? You blame everybody. You blame Mark and Tyson, and come on, man. Nobody had to fucking do all that to you to beat you. You a guy with a heavy ass right hand, so was Ernie Shavers, but Ernie Shavers got beat too. The only difference is we're fighting in a day of age where perception is better than anything else. Perception is better than reality. Feed the bear. Counterpunch to you, brother. I will. Wilder is the most diluted heavyweight there's ever been. Well, here's the thing. He needs to start fighting everyone else. I like the idea of him not fighting Fury and fighting someone like Dillian White. Remember, he was like, Dillian White, your time coming. He like I has a good piece of pussy or something. I'm like, whoa, what did you say? Good piece of pussy. What is it? Sex? But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I feel that that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, like, you need more. Like, if you just had Frazier and Ali, and you just had those two guys. You didn't have George Foreman beating one of those fucking guys to make him, to make things really interesting. If you didn't have that, if you didn't have the Nortons, or like the Whites, you know what I mean? But everybody eventually fought at one another. That eventually happened. AJ needs to fight Wilder to get his confidence back. That would be a good fight. And St. Don, look, I would propose this. If Wilder gets beat by Fury, Joshua gets beat again by Usyk, those two guys fight each other. And better yet, because they've both been beaten by the same. They've been beaten twice by the same person, right? So now, the only thing I think, if they wanted to sell it, it shouldn't be in the UK. It should be in Nigeria. Nigeria, why? Because Anthony Joshua's people are from Nigeria, and Deontay Wilder has like 33% Nigerian blood. So, like, they could fight there and build a huge fight. And if Deontay Wilder, comes over there with his African attire on and, make Nigerians understand who he is and how he's proud of his heritage, he could win some fans over there. And they could build that fight. It could be a huge fight in Nigeria. I think Nigeria needs that. You know what I mean? Ali did it. Fuck. And he knocked out George Foreman. Everything changed for Ali in Africa, right? Hysteria in Nigeria, heard it here first. Yeah, well, I mean, I knew what's going on about, failed to comment or make a video which shows AJ's corner wave. I'm gonna do that today. I just needed a little time because I've been doing other projects, but I will do that because it's very, very interesting. Very interesting. Effie Ajagba hates Kurt now. Well, Effie Ajagba, he just needs to worry about Frank Sanchez. Don't worry about Kurt. Worry about Kurt's homie, Frank, because that's the guy you're gonna be fighting. I don't like Kurtaville. I don't like Kurtaville. Kurtaville, he talks too much. He talks too much. He's American, he talks too much shit. I don't like him. He talk about Joshua. You don't talk about me. They don't talk about Effie Ajagba. Effie Ajagba, the true Nigerian. I am Nigerian. I am the true Nigerian. Anthony Joshua is a parent from Nigeria. You're not Nigerian. He's not Nigerian. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. You comparing Wilder to Ali now? No, I'm not. I'm just saying he could turn it around for himself, and there's life after a loss. That's what I'm saying, Smooth Will. That's what I'm saying. But Ali did it, right? So shit, Ali's American. He's an African American, right? So if you have an African consciousness and know, hey, my people once walked this continent, I could make this, a turnaround for me. Or can Joshua, and then they probably fight. They might fight 2 times. So it would be for damn a belt. It would be for African supremacy. Boom. David, he be talking like that, man. He be mumbling and shit. Kurt, leave my brother alone. I don't really leave him alone. He talked too much shit. I'd get him in the ring and batter him. I'd do better him. Kurt the real better him. He just talks shit all the time. I don't like people that talk too much. Anthony Joshua is not a good fight. I hit that Joshua. Anthony Joshua fought to the crown. Guys, man, I have to run this. It's supposed to go another hour, but I have to do something like ASAF and P. I will try to come back as time permits, or maybe tomorrow, mañana, or tal vez en la mañana, in the morning. And but man, this was good. I hated the fact that I gotta go, but I do have to leave. But anyway, yeah, heavyweight possibilities. You know what? We're gonna pick up tomorrow, volume 2 of this same. I hope to see you guys back at the same time, maybe around 12 o'clock tomorrow. I'll work on those other videos, but I have to run. But hey, we had some fun. Bars. But anyway, I'll see you guys, same place, same time, in another day. And everybody, God bless, and you guys have been Counterpunched. Peace.